Right, hello, what is up? So here I am back with a follow-up Q&A because, the last Q&A I did performed really well. It performed as good as, an average lesson video, which I think is really cool because, that Q&A video was done, within a couple of hours from start to finish, while, an ordinary lesson can take, up to a week sometimes to complete. So I think that kind of makes me think and question how I do this YouTube thing and my workflow and everything, because YouTube kind of prioritize channels that upload often, and maybe it feels like I put my focus into the wrong things. I also thought that I need to do a lot of editing and high quality stuff and all that in order to be able to provide value through a video. So it's kind of cool to see that I can get a good response without pretty much no editing or very little editing and just being myself in the moment. That is kind of cool. So I will definitely try to experiment more with this to hopefully find other ideas to be able to upload more often. But anyway, that's that. So let's jump into the Q&A. And the first question here is, which speaker is a good substitution for Celestion G12T-75 if you do not want to use a 4x12 cab? And this is what Frusciante used. And unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to try that many different speakers. I pretty much only use the vintage 30. I have it in all my 3 amps, so to speak, in my combo, Sirena, and the 2 behind me there are all vintage 30 cabs. And I guess I could answer the question by saying that if you like my sound and think I get a good Frusciante sound, then I guess you can say the vintage 30s is a good substitution. However, I wouldn't say that they sound similar. I think they have a different frequency response based on different videos I've seen comparing the two. So I wouldn't say, they are super similar, but I definitely think you can get a good tone of the vintage 30. And also, while I am on this topic, I'm also really interested in the greenbacks, to try those out one day. So yeah, it would be fun to try out some more, or at least these two, the G12T and the greenbacks, in the future. Would be fun to try out. But anyway, the second question is, where is the best position of the MXR microamp or the like in a pedal chain? And in my chain, I have it quite early in the chain. So I guess the question is, do you have it before or after the fuzz and distortion pedals? And I'm no expert on exactly how John did it, but luckily, I have the Heart book by Kentaro, which helps me a lot. And also Will Galucci has a really good video where he analyzes pedals orders and all that. And their finding seems to be that John had the microamp after the fuzz and distortion pedals, but during the later years, the Stadium Arcadium era, he seemed to have the microamp after the fuzz and distortion still, but before the Big Muff. And before this video, I actually tried different positions of the microamp for the Big Muff and the DS2 before and after those. And I guess there is a difference. I didn't really record it and listen carefully A and B, but just in the moment of trying that, it feels like you can notice a difference, but I don't think it's that large. But yeah, I guess that's that. So let's jump into the next question, which is, good morning. I wanted to know, is the Marshall 1974X acceptable for home use to get closer to John's tones? Of course, right now I'm using a Fender Blues Junior, and unfortunately, just like with the speakers, I haven't had the opportunity to try that many different amps as well. I pretty much only used, the Plexus and the Silver Jubilee you see behind me. So I don't know if my answer will be that good, but to be honest, when it comes to, amps being suitable for home use, I don't really see that as a problem, because you always have the opportunity of getting an attenuator, which doesn't really have to be that expensive. So I would say that it feels like you limit yourself quite a lot if you focus on that the amp must be good at bedroom levels without an attenuator. I think it's better to focus on finding an amp that you really like the sound of, no matter how loud it is. Maybe not no matter how loud it is, but you know, at least those medium range loudness amps, and then you simply just get an attenuator. And unfortunately I can't answer this amp specifically if it's good without an attenuator at lower volumes. I can say with the Silver Jubilee I found that it can work if you only play the Silver Jubilee without any pedals. It sounds really good at bedroom levels without an attenuator, because you can use, you know, that I know what it's called. You know, you can use that rhythm clip on the input channel to, you know, get those crunch tones, which sounds really good if you don't use pedals with it. And you know, that way the Silver Jubilee can sound really good at bedroom levels. But I guess that doesn't really answer the question, so hopefully you got some value out of that answer. And I'll move on to the next question, which is favorite song right now. And I like that part, you know, right now of the question, because as I elaborated in my last Q&A, that kind of changes all the time really, so it's a complicated thing to answer. But right now I think I would like to take this opportunity to recommend the song La Sirena, which maybe all of you don't know, but that was a song that John was part of in the late 90s. And also there's a really good YouTube video of that song, so if you haven't seen that one, you definitely are missing out. So I'll link that one down in the description. Alright, so I'll pause the video here, even though there are some more questions that I could answer in a final Q&A, at least final for this round of questions that I got, but I guess that depends on how well this video performs. Maybe, you know, that first Q&A was just a one-off and the other ones won't perform good at all. But yeah, we'll see. And like I said, I will try to start to experiment with other videos like this, not necessarily Q&As, but you know, other videos that are more in the moment and do not require as much editing, because it would be, I don't know what that would be right now, but it would be fun to come up with different ideas like that, to be able to post more often than just once a week, because I think that is kind of what YouTube favors. So it would be kind of fun to align with that. And also it's really a fun process, you know, to try different ideas and see the response, and then kind of you know, adapt based on the response. You know, it's a really fun dance, if you will. So yeah, I think that's everything I want to say. Also, you know, on Monday I will post a video that I'm really looking forward to, because it's something that has been requested for some time, but I haven't gotten around to do it, because I felt like I needed to do a lot of research, which I finally got around doing. So yeah, that will be really fun to publish, and hopefully I'll see you in that video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.